Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the third video regarding to user interface series. Please watch before videos if you missed. So let's get started. While we are building an application, there might be scenarios we need to capture few date type of properties. Suppose you want to specify your stay period in an address from this date to at this date, or you want to specify your date of birth, or you want to specify like when the respective product has been bought from some website. So all these are related to date types. You know that few of the geographies maintain separate date formats. Like few geographies maintain like DD, MM, YYY, or few supports like YY, MM, DD, and few of the geography supports like MM, DD and YYY. So in this respective cases, like how we need to handle our display of calendar is all about this configuration that I'm going to explain you. And few of the people likes their application like 1st Jan 2022 like this. So there might be a number of ways of showing a respective data to the user. So coming to this, as I said in previous video, this is a section and where you can add many elements. Now I have added an element called label. This is just for display purpose. Now I have just added one property. I have clicked on this and I click date time. Then this property would come. Just if you see the settings, I have given type as date range. So if you give date range, then you can see options like from date to date. If you don't want this, just confine with one date, then you can go with this like type date. So if you specify like type date, only one date you can give over here, but it's not like both at the time. So now I have given date range and I have given two different properties to capture the dates. Okay, this is one of the key feature in date settings, date time settings. And here also you have date time, you can check here. And related to property, suppose if you are having a date time property, it's better to use property type is also like date time. If you want to create only date property and you don't want to maintain time, actions create, I want only one single date, not time. Now you can change your property type here, change and give date. Now suppose if you want to only capture like 04081990 or some other date like that, you can specify this. If you want to capture some timestamp also, then only you go for date time property. Okay, as I have used cell property as date time, I am referring this to a date time property. Next thing is, suppose this is a date property. Now I want a user to be selected in the month, date, year, like if this drop down, then you no need to sit and build some data pages for referring all these data and all. Just go to your presentation of your cell properties, and if you scroll down display mode, you can see drop down list. If you don't want that, if you want a text input on calendar, you can select this. And if you want calendar navigation as a spinner or drop down, you can select. And if you submit it, save, go to your section, refresh, see, now you can select over here and see, now we are getting only years from 2012 to 2032, like only 20 years span. But you want more than that, you can just configure here presentation. See, previous 10 years I have given. Suppose if I give some 30 years and next is 10 years, save, refresh. Now I can see from 92 to next 10 years 2032. Okay, and suppose if you want to select today's date, you can see that. So they have given a notation like today is represented with this symbol. That's why you can see on 23 there is one symbol over here. Okay, presentations. And if you want to display some week numbers on the calendar and you want to disable weekend selection, you can give this. Click submit. See, these are the week numbers. This is the 13th. You can see all the weekends are grayed out. You can select today's date as well, right? And there might be some regions like UAE where their weekend is Friday and Saturday, but not Saturday and Sunday. So for them, if you want to specify, you no need to write an extra code. You can see here default business calendar it is showing. You just if you click other calendar, you can configure your own calendar. Now if you want to configure like this, see here US default is there. Open this. So here if you see their business days are like this. So if you want to do some changes and you want to make Friday as a weekend and Sunday as a weekday, you can select this and save, and you can specify your own time zone over here. And if there are some holidays on that day also, you don't want customers to enter some days, and you can specify date in the same format as mentioned over here. And if you save and refer that respective calendar over here in other calendars, you can achieve that functionality. And you can see there you can specify some other time zones as well. Very feasible for us with less coding. Just with the OOTB of Pega we can achieve many things in different combinations over here. So this is all about calendar functionality while we are capturing the data. So suppose this is a date range that I have given, so you can select from here to here. Just you scroll down, click apply. See, all these dates are captured. Both the dates are captured at one click. So try to use OOTB features so that development efforts will be less and work will be progressed in a good shape. Now this is the date format that we are displaying over here. Suppose if you want to change in the read-only mode of the date that you are going to display, you can see here read-only format. There are different types. Now for this date time, I can select a date time format. See, you can select any one of the date or format over here. Okay, if you want you customize one, you can specify that. See, it was giving some prompt text also for us. And few of the people doesn't like showing AM PM. So if you want for 24 hours support, you can select this 24 hours format. So this is all about daytime configuration and calendar configuration. And this calendar configuration is not only useful here. You can use a calendar format. Suppose you are having an operator record. If you go to work, you can see business calendar. So if there are operators belongs to Australia and few operators belongs to UAE region, and you want to differentiate which operator is available for receiving the work, you can specify their business calendar and you can differentiate that instead of doing more of customization. This is all about this. Next I'm going to tell you about placeholder text and helper text. Suppose here, see here you can see just address line 1, address line 2, but you want to specify some more details about this field. So you no need to give a big label over here and just make your UI messy. There is something called as placeholder text where you can see here I'm specifying a placeholder text. For example, here you can create on your own placeholder text, or I'm just using here the existing one. Click here to submit, save, refresh. See, you can see this. This is placeholder text which is grayed out. Once you type in, it will wiped off. Okay. Suppose if you want to show some more information for this respective field, there is something called as helper text where you can specify here. So helper text, previous versions of Pega, we have something called as tooltip. Like if you just hover over something, we are seeing here, right? tracer. So this is nothing but a tooltip. Now Pega is not recommending this kind of tooltip now. So if you want to see like always visible or inline and you want to give some text, showing I am using the existing text over here. Submit, save, refresh. See, you can see here at existing document. Suppose you want to show that supporting text in different format. Helper text. See, helper icon with overlay on home. You can see a question mark over here, and just if you hover, you can see the text over here. So these are the different kinds of helper text and placeholder. So these are very required to guide your user in a smooth way, so that user won't be ending up providing some gen data other rather than providing the important data. So it's a good practice to use this, and it's good practice to use OTB features than the latest. Suppose if you want to show a label, now I'm using address line one. Now if you want to type in some text of some 30-40 characters, you should not be typing over here, and you should not be saving it. Pega will throw a warning for us. So there is some concept called as field value, which is very useful for us. For example, so this is address line one, right? Copying it. Now I'm going to create a field value with address line one. Now I'm giving value like hi. Could you please enter address line one? So if you want some customization other than label, the particular property label, it is best to use field values. For example, again client comes us and says like we don't want hi, they want some hello. So you no need to sit and change all the sections in your application where you are using this address line one. You can just change this field value and it will be a fast change. Now I'm going back here, submitting it, saving, refresh. See, and if someone asks you to change this text, no need to touch the section, just go to field value and you can just update your code over here. See, if you know that this is only the section it is being used, then it is easy for us to do the change. But what if there are some 100 and more sections where this address line one label is used? You can't waste your efforts in doing that change. If there are some labels that are differentiated with the property names, it is good practice to use field values than customizing the text in the section. Suppose if you want to pass some parameters like suppose hello, and you want to pass like the operator name, then also you can do field value parameters thing. If you see here, there is some parameters, right? Like name. If I can give like this. Like this you can customize the respective field value also. You try on your own with different permutations and combinations for achieving all these UI features of field value and all. I'm going to show you about dashboard settings. Suppose you are having a case manager portal, and see the case manager is having many dashboard elements like showing the case life cycle and what are the stages in the case, and what are the work queues available and what is the work list respect to this particular dashboard user. And if you want to use some more widgets, so this is basically dashboard in that this is one widget and this is one widget, and this is the template that we are showing as 2 by 2. So if you want to change, you can see here personalize the dashboard option. Click on this and you can select the OOTB templates that are given by Pega. Suppose if you want Foursquare, see, there would be like slot 1, slot 2, slot 3 and slot 4. As of now only these data are given. Now if you click publish, if you scroll down, see, these are divided into slots. Now if you want to add some more widgets here, click add widget, and these are all the OTB widgets given by Pega. If you want, you can just click on the respective widget. So suppose I want to display team members that are available. I'm clicking team members, add selected. Now I want to publish this. Scroll down. See, team members are added in slot 3. And if you want to switch back again to one of the templates like 2 column, you can just do that change. And see, team members are here still. And if you want to discard the changes and you want to revert the dashboard, you can select this option. These are all the OTB widgets that are provided by Pega. If you want to customize, you can go to the respective widget and do the changes as well. So this is the minimal configuration that is given by Pega. Next I want to talk is about UI gallery. So we have many UI elements over here. So what if there is some UI element that I did not work anytime? So you want to know what is the behavior of this. So you are not unsure, like, or you are afraid of using some particular element over here and you want to check that, or if you want to know before itself how to use that, just Pega has given one feature called as UI gallery. Configure user interface gallery UI elements. I am pausing here. Please remember this path. If you click UI elements and if you scroll down, you can see these are the basic controls, these are the layouts and containers, these are the samples and combinations. So if you click on this, you would be knowing like what is the behavior of this radio button. See, if you give orientation as vertical, you can see. If you give orientation of horizontal, like this. So if you want to apply some styles, how it looks. So all these things without even knowledge about UI elements, if you want to gain some confidence on you by referring this UI gallery, you can come to know many things about each option. Suppose this slider, you could have seen capturing some values like this. Instead of giving a user to provide some dynamic select, if you want to use some latest features of Pega, you can use a slider over this. You want to do some design time configuration, you can click on the respective rule and you can learn about it. Next is about minimum and maximum characters. For example, I'm going back to this portal. For example, here you are able to enter many values, right? But you want to restrict user just to enter some 10 characters over here. Just go to the respective cell, click presentation. You can specify your minimum max characters over here. And if you want your text to be aligned as right, or if you want text to be aligned as center, you can select this option. And this is again type. Suppose if you are going to provide some text, you want user to specify some email, this is the OTB type you can specify. And if you want only to capture only numbers, it is good practice to use number, as well as here the property related to number should be an integer than a text. It's not a thumb rule, like we should not use text for a number, but it is a good practice to use same property type based on the UI that we have given to the user. If you did not select this, so while entering the data from the right side, the values will be taken. For example, now I have given right 4550. This is right, this is left. Okay, so while you are presenting data to the user in a read-only mode, if you want to use the same styling over there, it is good practice to use this option, display value, using read-only formatting. So in read-only also it behaves in the same. And another thing I want to tell you is of navigation. If you see here, there is something called as menu. This is one kind of navigation rule, and see here, this is also a navigation, this is a menu rule. So for all these purposes, Pega has given something called as navigation rule that you need to configure. So here now if I am using this, see in this navigation rule only this is there, like click on entry to edit. That's why you are unable to see any navigation rule over here. So if you want to configure some actions to it, you can specify here. Just click on this. Right hand side there will be a big menu. Now you can give like a navigation one, and you can specify some tooltip description. If you want to show some image, you can do it. And what you want to know is about actions tab. This is where the respective, like for example here I'm going to this and I'm just selecting this Pega platform, then some activity is being called beside, or some action is being performed in backend. So all these things we would be configure something called as add an action or event. So this is an action set, and on click of this, you want some action to be performed, click on add an action. You can see all actions, and you can see all this here, right? Process work, launch list. These are all OOTB actions provided by Pega. There is no thumb rule, like this can be used only in menu or navigation rule. This can be used in even in our data capturing text fields also. If you select here, now I'm giving some value like this, but this value won't be saved on clipboard until I do some action beside, like to perform a save on the clipboard. For this I'm going here, actions, create an action set, add an event. So this is also these are events given by Pega. Just if you want to specify, here you have entered some text and you just change to another, then only you want to submit this data to the clipboard. Then you can say like click or double click or enter key. It is good practice to use this event called as change. So just while you are typing 12, it will be updated. 3, it will be updated. 4, it will be updated. So on the fly the value will be updated. No need to wait until the mouse cursor is moved out of the scope of the respective text input. Now I'm specifying some actions. So same like menu actions that we have seen in navigation rule, we can specify some action over here. So on change I want to update this value to clipboard. So now I can select post value, submit, save, refresh. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm giving some value to this. So if you want to see clipboard, go here, say launch clipboard. See address line 1, 1324 value is been posted to clipboard, but address line 2, the value still it is not there. Why? Because I did not specify any action to be performed. If I did not specify any action to be performed, until I click submit, the value won't be posted to clipboard. So you have to be sure, like configuring all these things when you are doing UI related things. I'm just repeating again. You can add an event like click, and you can add a post value, and in the same event if you want you can add another action as well. Like if you want to run a data transform, you can select this. So these are the different kinds of Pega actions you can use. Just play around these properties. It will be very useful for any developer if they are aware of all these actions and events. That's it from today. I would like to stop here. Why? Because you might be confused if I give more inputs on this UI on a single day. Kindly watch my videos. Thanks for watching this. Please share to your friends, colleagues who are interested to learn Pega. Thanks everyone.